We are back! We're back! Hold on, let's do the Elvis, we're back. We're back, baby! All right, listen to me. Guys, you want to buy a piece of real estate and you want to crank up the value? We're going to give you 5 ways to crank up the value fucking right now. Okay? All right, we're going to add some value to our real estate. It's not that hard. It's common sense. And what you need to do is actually have some common sense. And today it seems like it's uncommon. So we are here to be your common sense meter. We are going to use the cattle prong. So here we go. Let's add some value right here. Let's go slow. All right. So we're going to actually start right here with number 3, because number 3 is going to go into number 1. So actually, you know what? We're going to start at number 5. Because number 5 is ultimately the number 1 way to add value to a piece of property, is to buy the deal right. So I want you to get the mindset that you can never pay retail for a piece of real estate. You always have to buy a good deal. Now, why do I say that? Because you make your money when you buy a deal. You only realize the gain when you sell it. I'll say it again. You make your money when you buy a deal. You realize the gain when you sell it. So when you buy a good deal, you will always make money. So buying that good deal may mean that you have to do certain things. You're going to have hair on the deal. You're going to have issues. And what you're going to need to do is add some value. And how are we going to add value? Strategically, we're going to add value by renovating the building. So we're going to renovate the building. That's going to be our number 2. So this is our number 1. Now number 2. Number 2 is we're going to look at the deal. We're going to look at what we can put into it to bring the value of the property up. At the same time, what's going to bring the value of the property up? The strategic renovation is going to help us grow our income. Why? Because if you buy a unit, you buy, let's say we bought 100 units, all right? And we know that we can invest $10,000 per unit. So that means we're going to put in $1 million of renovation into these 100 units. That's going to be new flooring, new lighting, new hardware, kitchen, bathroom, painted, lighting. We're going to make it look nice. That means if our rent is at one level before we renovate it, we're going to be able to push it to another level when we renovate it. That is going to give us a different resident profile. It's also going to give us a higher rent, and we're going to make back our rehab dollars in the forced appreciation by renovating it. Also, now that our rent is higher, we're going to be able to make more money based on inflation when that rent changes every year based on the natural occurrence of inflation. That's something you can count on, like death and taxes, all right? So we're gonna have inflation, we're gonna have death and taxes, so you're gonna go up in value. So when we renovate it, we actually get a rent bump. That rent bump could be very significant. And I'll go into an explanation on that 100-unit deal. We'll talk about 100 units, all right? All right? The 4th place that you really want to actually grow your revenue is by spending less. How do you do that? Well, let's say we bought a property for $10, but it had sold previously for $20. That would give us the ability to appeal the taxes because the value of the property came down. The assessed value comes down. And when you buy that property, you can go to the tax assessor, or you can hire a company that does that. We typically hire a company that will go to the city and get your taxes reduced. You can reduce your cost of water. How do you do that? You either use a resident RUBS program, which is a unit. Let me write it down so I can write the acronym, RUBS, which stands for Resident Unit Billing System. okay? Boom, 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 boom. Resident unit billing system, okay? You can bill the utilities to the resident. If you have it in your budget, you can break out the unit so all of the meters on the property are separately metered. That way the resident pays the utilities. That gets pushed onto the resident rent. That reduces expenses. You can also, from the strategic rehab, reduce your cost of insurance. You can also reduce the cost of your refuge, okay? Or your carting cost, which is your trash, by doing something like bringing in a trash compactor, because they're a little more expensive up front, but long term you're gonna save money on a reoccurring basis. There are so many ways to do this, so many ways to save money. You need to be super efficient at doing this all the time. And then the last thing, which is gonna be 5, okay, is greater efficiency. And what do I mean about greater efficiency? Greater efficiency is keeping your property rented at a higher level, because the more you turn over a property, the more you're gonna lose in loss. So the more you're gonna lose in loss. Turnover means when a resident no longer lives there, you have to do what's called a turnover to the unit. That means you have to do the maintenance, you may have to fix the floor, new carpet, fix a toilet, new appliances. It costs you money. When the resident stays, it saves you money. So you want to reduce your turnover. How do you do that? You raise the level of your resident. You create a community. Now here at Shapiro Capital, what we teach is we don't have apartment buildings. We own apartment communities, okay? We don't have tenants, we have residents. I use that word quite a bit. And we don't have problems, we have situations. It's all about how you look at it and how you do it. You have to understand that this is about creating a sense of community. And once you buy a place and you're putting money into it, they see that you're creating a sense of community. Guys, listen, if you want to learn more about real estate, all right, or if you want to sit around dicking around with your life, okay, you can do that. But get off your ass, reach out to me, okay? In the comments below, comment the word real estate, and one of my gifted advisors from Shapiro Capital will reach out to you. I hope you guys get to talk to them soon. Let's go!